And welcome to the second week of the Hephaestus Challenge here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. We are so glad you're here to join us. It is going to be a fantastic day. Joining me, as he always does, is Mr. Fourth Oracle. Oracle, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
Most of me is here. Unfortunately, I lost my right arm, so I'm not going to be able to control the angle at which I'm seeing the action. Oh well. That was
got
a joke.
depressing
I did not
fast.
actually lose my right arm.
Well, that's good. That's very
intact.
good. Coming up, that took a really awkward direction really fast. I'm just going to say that right now. First up today, we have Overwatch versus the Rydrs. Overwatch versus Rydrs. This is going to be a very tight matchup. Overwatch has been doing a lot of preparation to try and take on the Rydrs, but the Rydrs, as we all know, a very well-knit team. They do one thing, a couple things extremely well. Rugine, we do not have Rob on camera today. It is just me. No Robert on camera. It's literally just me.
So if anything goes wrong, there's no Rob to blame it on. Dan has to
it's
take
just
all of it.
me. It's a frightening concept. I know. It's an incredibly frightening concept. But we're gonna get into it here very shortly. We're about 9 minutes off of the first game. By the way, if you guys do not know, we are doing a dual stream, as we are going to for every single week of the Hephaestus Challenge. Over on robanddan.tv/live, we have both streams up and going, both ourselves and Imagine42, who is having the other set of games. Currently, over on Imagine Stream, as I dig my microphone right over here, it's Black Flight Squadron versus the Holy Roman Army. It looks like there's a bit of a delay on the action. Things have slowed down dramatically, and the Holy Roman Army ships do not look absolutely spectacular. Both hulls are pretty gosh darn low. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and open up to the lobby to see exactly what's going on. Now, Oracle, do you have any specific predictions for what we might see for this matchup?
I really hope that's not more Metamidians. Last week was pockmarked with them. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
So many Metamidians. I talked about it during my show, the Metamidian.
Oddly enough.
Well, it's not that odd. I mean, I wanted to talk about what happened during the Hephaestus Challenge, and I mean, that happened.
Well, you talked about Metamidians during the Metamidian.
Yeah.
It's
self-examination.
Well, we don't want to call it that. That would be inappropriate.
Whoa! Don't take it that way. Come on, man.
And just for the folks that are watching at home, just so they know, yes, I did actually fire Rob for all the puns yesterday.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's why he's not here. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this is kind of interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to change it up. The Nope.avi has 2 mine launchers as its brawling side.
That's going to be interesting.
I think that if it's going to work on any map, it's going to be Parrot and Rumble. It can block off approaches. I think they might change it depending on, what their opponents are going to be taking.
Certainly.
I don't think that their port side is going to change at all. I mean, Hades, double Artemis, that's a good trifecta. That's solid. But those double mine launchers are interesting. And the Be My Valentine, yeah, there's no way that Be My Valentine is going to keep Pentaflamer. I somehow doubt that.
They haven't actually gotten their real ships out just yet. We are approximately 6 minutes off the match, and we don't have the Rydrs in here just yet.
Let's see. Do we have any word in them?
I have not seen anything specific yet. I'm sure if there is anything going on that I need to know about, the referees will let us know as soon as they know. I'm not worried because of that simple fact. We should see them joining here very shortly. I would expect Pyramidians from them, especially on Parrot and Rumble. Especially on Parrot and Rumble. We're going to see the mid-range, the Hades Flak, Metamidian. I think we're not Metamidian, but Pyramidian, and then we're going to see the Metamidian, the Gat mortar. Why am I having trouble with that? The Gat mortar.
There you go.
That's exactly what I expect to see from them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Parrots and Rumble, when you're moving through the buildings, having those guns in arc already as you're moving through them
Mhm.
allows you to be bolder. It lets you take positions a little bit faster, something that's really important. So even if it's a long range, like Pyramidians are
Mhm.
very strong in Parrots and Rumble.
Absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
where do they go? Here they go.
Yep.
They
Solo
are
Sortum
in.
and Live GTK. This is exactly what I expected from the writers.
Yep. Not surprised. And they are going with the Hades Echidna, it looks like, on the Solus Ortum. That's something that Hillerton has been running a lot recently.
Mhm. Yeah, the Solo Sortum for the last few months has been the companionship to the Lib GTK. In almost every single competitive match we've seen them fly, it has been exactly that combination.
Well, it used to be Hades Artemis.
Mhm.
They ran that for a little while, I believe. But they still ran that Hades. Might have been double Hades. My memory's faulty. But there was at least a Hades on there.
Mhm.
LibGTK has always been a Metamidian, though. I'm pretty sure they've never changed that.
Yeah, Luosi has always flown the Metamidian. Pretty
Yeah.
much always.
Here we go. We have the real ships for Overwatch coming out here. Shadow Sword, Watcherfish. Talk to yeah, you were around for the Metamidian yesterday.
Yes.
You heard us talk about how Watcherfish is making a comeback.
It has, and I'm so happy for that.
Yeah, oddly enough, though, they're not running the Gatling on the Shadow Sword.
Oh, they're doing Flamer Caro.
Yep. We talked about this Pyramidian setup on the Terminus Est.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked last time we saw it really well.
I'm interested to see why are people PMing me. I'm interested to see exactly how it's going to function against such an active team, such an active mobile team as the Riders. But we'll get into that once we actually get in game. We actually did name the Artemis Carronade.
Yep, carrot. It's the carrot.
It's the carrot. It works. It's perfect. Trust me on this. I'm a doctor.
Good for your eyes.
That's neither here nor there. I am excited though to see these two teams go at it. These are some of the best teams in the entirety of the competitive league.
Yeah, Overwatch are real contenders. Like they've really stepped up their game. Especially using that Artemis Carronade and using it to good effect. I mean, Beef and I were talking. Yeah, Rada Beef was on the show last night. He's actually aboard the Shadow Sword as the Gutter. So you know who to blame. You know exactly who to blame. You can put a face to the person that misses all those Watcher shots.
Right there. It's him. I'm going to click on him. It's right here. You profile. This is the man to blame if the Watcher shots miss.
Though I gotta say, when he misses, he's gonna look snazzy doing it.
He's gonna look fantastic doing it. That's neither here nor there, though. We want to again welcome everyone to twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. Also, please consider going over to our dual stream page so you can see both our stream and Imagine's stream going on at the same time. Streams are. Why are people whispering me?
Because they want to be on stream.
Oh my god. I'm going to turn on clan chat. And that doesn't block them. That doesn't block them. No.
Is there a way to block it?
Well, I had a video running over the chat window, but unfortunately I forgot to set it to loop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you're still getting it in the upper left-hand corner.
I'll fix that. I'll fix that for the next couple lobbies. That's neither here nor there, though. The time is currently 3:19. We're going to be starting this lobby up here very shortly. Again, Overwatch versus the Rider. I almost said Crimson Rhino Riders. That's not accurate.
Nope. This is just the Riders.
It's just the Riders. I keep getting my name screwed up from the last 6 months of competitive play. I really should get them straight, but for some reason I just... Oh my god, Sammy.
Yeah, the Storm Riders. That's what they changed their name to.
No, what Sammy just said in Whisper. Oh dear. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be one of those days, folks. Again, we have 3 solid matches, and after this first match, we're actually gonna have an interview with the leader of Cake, Captain James Tiberius Kirk.
Yeah, it's good to see they actually managed to, get a solid team going. That's something they tend to struggle with just because the structure of the clan is that way. I mean, it's very loose. They'll accept anyone. And like the competitive players are a pretty big
Mhm.
pool, but they tend to be kind of inconsistent. That's the way it's usually been. But they've really brought it together. They said, you know what? We want to really do something competitive. We want to make a name for ourselves, and so they're playing accordingly. They get
Absolutely. We are getting into game here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for joining us here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. As I try to change frames, not quite being too incredibly cooperative. This is going to be Overwatch versus the Ryders. Oracle, tell us about the map.
Parish and Rumble is probably one of the most interesting maps in the game. You have almost a maze of buildings that you have to navigate that make for really good cover, but they also make for good concealed movement. But then you also have lanes that snipers are oftentimes vying for the entire game.
They're asking for a pause in chat. I pulled the chat up just a moment so we can all see that. They have confirmed the pause. Sammy, the ref for this one, has confirmed it. So let's go over and let's do the ship loadouts here real quick. The Terminus Est, piloted by, who's that? That's Vomact. That is the Carrot ship, the Carronade Artemis front Pyramidion, with a side Banshee and a flare. Very solid side setup.
I like it. I like the Banshee a lot.
I do. I really like it in that position. We also have the Shadow Sword, piloted by Alistair Silas. We have on the front of that a Hwacha with a side Flamer and a side Carronade. Go ahead, Oracle.
And for the Storm Riders, we have the Lib GTK, a Pyramidian. Wow.
Can you talk today?
Pyramidian. A Pyramidian being piloted by Luiosi. It is a gap mortar forward setup with a carronade and flare on the port side, and aboard the Solus Ortum, a Pyramidian being piloted by Hillerton. See, I'm really enunciating this time. Okay, they changed it up. It's going to be a Hades Artemis for a little bit more disabling power.
Okay, it's going to be
another Artemis, with another Artemis on the port side and a flare gun to complement. So potential trifecta going on here.
Absolutely.
Slow-mo. Nope, we're not in slow-mo anymore. Should be good.
I am unsure if we've unpaused. I need to pull up the chat again. Bullet time hack, slow-mo. Oh, wait, it's back. I'm waiting for Sammy to confirm that we are a go. And we are still in server pause. Both teams need to recognize that the Overwatch team is moving, as is the Solus Ortum. Both teams need to stop moving.
Stop moving. Terminus. Someone's not paying attention.
Someone's not paying attention. We'll go ahead and turn off the chat.
I'll let you know if something important happens in chat.
Thank you. As soon as pause is called off, please let me know. Again, thank you everyone for joining us here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. We are so happy to have you here for the Hephaestus challenge. Normally Rob is here pushing the buttons, but he had a graduation he needed to be at. So he is not here, which is very sad and depressing because who else is going to make puns?
Who cares about the future? We have Guns of Icarus to cast.
I don't even get that.
You gotta throw away graduation over friends and everything. Fun. The only thing that matters is Guns of Icarus, obviously.
And once again, there is only one Metamidian in this match, despite there being 3 Pyramidians, which is actually a new record for Guns of Icarus.
I don't know what Sammy's going to call, but I almost feel like we need a reset.
We might have to do a reset on this one?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
people just jump the gun really hard.
Yeah, Terminus Est really did not recognize the pause going on that the ref
they're
instituted.
They're just going to go ahead and move everyone back to the spawns.
Okay. Well, we have not seen that before, but it's certainly an option for the refs to enact. Once again, this is on Peryton Rumble. Overwatch versus the Rydrs.
Hellster Silas is very slowly moving to the right. Look at this.
He's listing lazily to the left.
He's legit going to run into a building.
Oh no.
Look at this. Look at this.
Alistair.
Oh.
Alistair.
Oh. Oh.
He's going. This is the most exciting it's going to get today, folks, just so you know.
That's a lie. I think that these builds are pretty cool.
Boop.
Crunch.
Oh, that's hilarious.
When a pause is called, the engineers are the ones that suffer.
Don't the engineers usually suffer anyhow?
Is he gonna get like blown between the? Okay, he's moving.
He's actually paying attention now. Thank goodness.
No, I think he was waiting to do anything until after Sammy said unpause. All right, so we are actually underway for realsies this time.
Time has been enacted. Gameplay has been enacted, rather.
So it looks like the Storm Riders moving over to the north. They're taking a northern position. I mean, this is one of the nicer sniping lanes sometimes. Like you have really nice lanes when you hang out up to the north.
Absolutely.
Just because like it's really hard for enemies to approach without, coming through a really obvious area usually. I mean, you look over at this is A3 at that point here. Like it's really hard to get through here.
A3 is just about A3 is just about the left-hand side center of the map, by the way, folks, for those looking.
Yeah. I'm just looking right here at it. Like they have a building that's fallen over. They kind of have to move their way through it. But no, they're going to keep moving. I think that right now they just want to see if they can get a good engagement. They have a general idea of where Overwatch is right now.
Certainly. As far as I've seen this Rydr team function, Losi is always the high aggressor, but Solus Ortum is always there to grab attention first, to say, hey, you know what, I have these mid to long range weapons and I'm going to start hammering you unless you do something about it. Which then forces either the enemy team to come towards the Solus Ortum or to duck its head down, and at that point, the libGTK goes in and does some serious cleanup work.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point. When you're playing defensively, you want the Metamidian to take the fire while your, Hades whatever ship is firing on the enemy. You're basically just buying time for that Hades to do its damage and melt through that armor. When you're ambushing, oftentimes it's a very different story because you have, the Solus Ortum, the Hades ship jump up, start firing, and then that draws the enemy towards it because they realize, oh crap, we're compromised. We have to go and fight this ship before we get taken down. And then that allows the Metamidian to jump up and do its damage. So
absolutely,
that's a good point.
Absolutely. Now looking over to the Overwatch team here, the Shadow Sword and the Terminus S took the main center right lane up to just about C4, D4, somewhere in that area. And they're going to cross over towards the west side of the map. It looks, though, that the Solus Ortum and libGTK might get spots first on them as they head north. The flare did go down right on top of the libGTK and the Solus Ortum, though. They're going to be spotted long before the Shadow Sword and the Terminus Est come out of that cloud bank.
Did they see him? Shadow Sword drops down.
I don't think they actually spotted them. They have the opportunity to, but I don't think spots... spot did has happened. libGTK spotted. Shadow Sword, Terminus Est, lining it up right now. It looks like libGTK could be the initial target for the Overwatch team. Watch his shots going out, mostly missing. That's not a good way to open up this engagement.
Terminus Est deciding to engage on the Solus Ortum, but it's opened up. It's broadsiding, gets the bump on the building. Its armor's down. This is going to be it. An entirely botched engagement going to bring the hull down to less than half. But watch it goes into the engine column of the libGTK. This Metamidian is stuck.
Without the Metamidian to do a lot of the brawling, the Solar Sword is a little bit like a fish out of water. It can try to get some fire on the Shadow Sword, but Flamers are going to continuously keep the LibGTK locked down. Great Hwacha on the Solar Sword, and Terminus Est is going to try and finish it off with the Banshee. They get the first kill.
Hey, that's why we like the Banshee. You have those opportunistic kills. Really excellent job from the Terminus Est going, hey, wait a minute. Like, that was some really good coordination from the part of the Shadow Sword and the Terminus Est using that Banshee the moment that it became useful.
Absolutely.
The GTK dropping down in this little crevice, and I think the Terminus Est wants to get the ram just to get it quick. There it goes.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful play from
Overwatch.
They've stepped up their game.
They turned a possible bad situation into an amazing situation. When the Terminus Est swung below the LibGTK, as soon as it rammed into that building and lost its armor, it absolutely protected itself from any further retribution, opening up the LibGTK to a quick burst from the Shadow Sword. Accurate firepower from Rotted Beef there, took it out. Amazing teamwork from Overwatch.
The second time, at least.
The second time.
So, I really like what the Terminus Est did. It ran in there, it got the ram, it just wanted to disable that Hades and Artemis. I mean, that was the point of that charge. And then as soon as, he went in, he recognized, I think that Vomact recognized that he was going to be putting himself into serious danger.
I hate to stop you there. Spot down on the Shadow Sword.
There we go.
LibGTK spotted as well. Watch a shot's going out.
Ooh.
About half the clip hit.
It only brings down the port side gun. The armor's going to be okay, but the Artemis doing a nice job. Solus Ortum firing its Artemis away as well, and the Hades
are incredibly accurate. LibGTK coming in with the Gat Mortar. A lot of that clip, though, from the Gat Mist. I'm not sure if that's going to mean a ton.
Ram, though. Oh, there's the Hwacha. Gets loaded into the engine column, and again, the LibGTK is in a bad way, but the Terminus Est has opened up its broadside. Solus Ortum desperately moving in, though. It recognizes it's in a bad position, can't quite get the kill on the Terminus, but now it's opened up its engine column. Right now, the disabling power of Overwatch is looking too much for the Storm Riders to bear.
Gat's opening up on that Hwacha. It could go down. Is that Hwacha?
It's down.
It is down. That Hwacha is down. It can no longer disable. Terminus Est is losing armor fast. It has almost no hull left. If that armor goes down, it is most likely going to go down as well. LibGTK, though, is entirely disabled. They have lost their armor and every single component on that ship.
Shadow Sword switching targets to the Solus Ortum, but it's too late. And now the Shadow Sword, with very little kill potential of its own, is going to have to try and get out of here. It can do it. It's a goldfish. But first, I think that right now Alistar needs to make that decision to get out of here, and I think he's going to
They are just getting some quick flames on the Solus Ortum. Oh my goodness. Amazing firecracker engagement so far. Shadow Sword getting peppered with that Hades still, I believe. That's Hades shots, isn't it?
There's the bump from the Shadow Sword. Bumps against the building, but it's in the clouds. It has a moment. Solus Ortum going in to try and get the spot to make it easier to hit the Shadow Sword. There it is, LibGTK.
Ooh!
Solus Ortum was the wrong ship to go in.
That was absolutely devastating. They lost every single gun on that ship. They did not have a solid chem spray rotation on.
And here's the Terminus. Terminus coming in hard. They want to try and keep the LibGTK down. Right now, the Shadow Sword has the Solus Ortum completely locked down. Second Hwacha Barrage brings the armor down. Hull is taking damage, and the Terminus S just wants to deal with the LibGTK. It is not afraid of this Metamidian at all.
Terminus S just had a great dodge. We didn't have a great camera angle on that, folks, but Terminus S just had a great dodge on that Gatling cannon. Shadow Sword, though, getting pressured now from the LibGTK as well.
It's fine. Oh, maybe not.
I don't think so. Armor is down on the Shadow Sword. They take a nasty bump.
This is one of the dangers you run as a goldfish in Periton Rumble. Terminus S still trying to disable the LibGTK, but it cannot get that Gat Mortar down. The LibGTK is doing a good job of keeping those guns away from that Artemis, but there's the Goomba Stomp from the Terminus, throwing it down into the building. Shadow Sword is behind a building compared to the LibGTK right now, and I think that it's going to be okay. Banshee coming in, trying to light a couple fires.
Solus Ortum is out of arming time range. They're getting full shots on the Shadow Sword.
But it's into the balloon. That's going to give them just a moment unless the balloon goes down. There it goes. No, not quite. Not quite. Shadow Sword's still rising, and now it's within arming time, I think.
Both teams are absolutely struggling to try and get anything going here. Solus Ortum getting entirely disabled. The LibGTK has lost quite a few components as well, trying to get their guns back up, but disables on the front of it. Solus Ortum is getting flamed by the Shadow Sword side gun. Oh my goodness. Gatling is going out from the LibGTK. Terminus S still pressured.
There we go.
Shadow Sword gets the kill on the, what was that? Solus Ortum.
That was the Solus Ortum. Yep, no problem.
Oh my god!
The LibGTK gets the better of the Terminus S. That Artemis, the LibGTK managed to get its balloon up just enough to hydro up, and then get good angle, get out of the Artemis arc, and pick up the kill. Nice moves, but now the Shadow Sword is going to be able
Great
to
heavy clip shots. They get no disables. Great
Nothing
hits,
goes down.
no disables.
Absolutely. Now LibGTK definitely has the upper hand, but the Carronade going to be used. Is the balloon going to go down? Not quite.
Yes,
there
it
it is. There it is. Shadow Sword has a minute, but they need to stop dropping.
LibGTK is putting some amazing
Oh
pressure.
no!
Amazing pressure. Yep. Oh my goodness. Amazing pressure from the LibGTK on the Shadow Sword there, while the Solus Ortum came back into range. LibGTK was not in a great situation there, but amazing pressure while still being disabled by the Shadow Sword. Solus Ortum moving in to try and finish the goldfish off, but it just does not happen.
Shadow Sword hanging on by a thread as the Terminus S comes in for support. It's going to try to disable the Solus Ortum and give the Shadow Sword just a moment. It recognizes it can't disable the guns fast enough, so it's going to try to ram to throw the guns out of arc.
Great job, Terminus S.
But the Solus Ortum has its engines. LibGTK is there, though. Shadow Sword drops down to try and get out of the way of the Solus Ortum, but that's not how you stop fire for a long period of time. Now the Terminus S in a very compromising position.
They're most likely going to go down here. LibGTK is moving right in on them. Mortars firing. Solus Ortum's right there to keep him in position. 4-3 in favor of the Riders. This one is close.
This is the danger that Overwatch knew that they were getting into when they ran a double disable composition. You end up getting these really long, drawn-out, sort of brawly matches that tend to go on for a long time, even while you're brawling. But at the same time, you lose that kill potential, and you see that Overwatch is getting the better of the Storm Riders. I'm never going to remember that. They keep changing their name. They keep getting the better of the Storm Riders, but they can't actually pick up a kill, and so these engagements just go on for way too long.
The situation moving forward is this. They're gonna get a... Oh, they didn't get a good disable on the Solus Ortum.
They took down the Hades, and that was big. But now the Shadow Sword is going to come under fire from the Lib.
The LibGTK is at half hull right now. If they can take advantage of that and take it out first, the Solus Ortum will be a quick kill for both of these Overwatch ships. Amazing pressure right now from Overwatch. They're both moving in. Double bumps on the LibGTK.
Flamer going out, and now the Watch is going to be in arc. The LibGTK eats too much damage from this, but the Terminus S has lost its armor. Big focus fire.
Oh my goodness!
That Hwacha was not there fast enough.
Wow. Great effort on the part of Overwatch. Riders pull it out just barely over the Overwatch team. Great focused fire under pressure from the Riders. I am blown away. Ooh.
Overwatch did a really good job.
Amazing job.
Disabling, getting those initial engagements, but when you run double disable, it's so hard to keep those disables going for as long as they needed to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, amazing job by both teams. Both teams. This is probably one of the best matches we're going to see in the entirety of the Hephaestus challenge. That was so close.
Yeah, definitely.
I am blown away. Ooh, okay. We're gonna take a few moments, folks. Thanks everyone for joining us here for this first game. We're gonna take a short timeout, and then we'll have our interview with James Tiberius Kirk, the leader of Cake, whose game will actually be on here in just a few minutes over on Imagine Stream. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Hephaestus Challenge right here on twitch.tv/The Robin Dan Show.